Hi, my name is Jeyan. I belong to Catering Science and Hotel Management Department of AJK College of Arts and Science. Today we are going to discuss on a subject called Food and Beverage Management. In that, the first unit will be put in a nutshell. So actually this unit consists of three parts. It's Introduction to Food and Beverage Management, Cost and Market Oriented Operations, and the third segment is Factors Influencing Meal and Drink Experience. So first we'll see the responsibilities of food and beverage management. The primary responsibility, obviously, as everyone knows, is the provision of food and beverage products and services catering for clearly defined market to satisfy or exceed these customers' expectations. In this, what it is saying is like, obviously, provision of food and beverage is one thing, and to whom? It should be to a clearly defined market. So that is the primary objective of F&B management, to identify a market to whom they are going to cater. So identifying that market and understanding the needs and wants of that market and designing a product to satisfy or exceed these customers' expectations. The second responsibility is the purchasing, receiving, storing, issuing and preparation of food and beverages within the establishment for final provision and service to the customer. Obviously, this is nothing but the routine cycle of operation, the activities or the functions included in the routine activities of an F&B operation. That is nothing but purchasing, and it's a broad term. It consists of a lot of things, like it is right from identifying what to purchase, from where to purchase, and from whom to purchase, and on what price to be purchased, all those things. And obviously to receive it with the right price, checking that you are getting the commodity for the right price, for the right price, the right quality item is received at the right time. And obviously store it in the proper way, and it's a responsibility of a F&B management to see that things are issued with maintaining proper records from the stores. Then obviously preparation, obviously the preparation to be done with the proper standard recipes to make sure that the product is going to be consistent within the establishment for the final provision. As I said in the earlier, the primary responsibility is to provide food and beverage. So the final provision service to the customer. And another responsibility of F&B management is the formulation of an efficient control system. Obviously, as we all know that, like, no organization can function without a proper control system. Once we frame all the activities and all that, we also have to see that every activity is being properly controlled. That's one thing. Then the next thing is monitoring food and beverage prices and achieving competitive rates while still ensuring quality standards. So business is all about expenditure and revenue. So in this point, this is very clearly saying that it is the objective and the responsibility of the F&B management to monitor what's exactly happening related to the prices and the expenses, right? So you have to fix the competitive prices to tackle your competition and without compromising the quality standards. The next responsibility is pricing the restaurant and special function menus to achieve desired profit margins. So in the very early stage itself, like, the organization is going to set up your profit targets. Like, this should be the sale we are expecting, and that this much profit margin to be generated. All these kind of objectives are, all these goals are set in the very early stage itself. So it is the responsibility of F&B management to see that your pricing is proper, it is competitive, and it is also able you to get your proper revenue as well as the margins. Then another responsibility is compiling on a daily, weekly and monthly basis all relevant food and beverage information. But this is nothing but provision of food and beverage information to the top management on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. These are the information, they are the core informations which will help the top management to do their activities like forecasting, planning, budgeting. Everything can be done. There is nothing but with this information only they can do all kind of things that the organization is going the right channel. The next one is reconciling actual and forecast costs and sales. Obviously, this is another important responsibility. It's nothing but reconciling actual and forecast. So I told you, like, there is a budget. The budget is showing what should be your revenue, what should be your expenditure, and what should be your profit margin. This is your forecast. So that forecasted facts is going to be reconciled with the reality. Actually, what are you doing? What is your cost? What is your sales? What is your profit margin? Then, if anything goes wrong, initiating the appropriate corrective action in the right time. Otherwise, the organization will go to the wrong way, and definitely we are going to land up in big trouble. For that, this has to be done properly. Another thing is training, directing, motivating, and monitoring of all food and beverage department staff. As far as the catering organization is concerned, a hospitality organization is concerned, the quality of the staff is the most important aspect. So here, it is the responsibility of the management to see that they are properly trained. If they have to be directed properly, direction to be given. If the guys needs to be motivated by the top management, they have to see that they motivate, the morale is high. Then only the outcome is going to be really good, like they're going to deliver their best. Another one is cooperating with other department. Obviously, its food and beverage department cannot stand alone. It has to cooperate with the other departments in the organization, like housekeeping, like your front office, like your other revenue generating departments. So they have to cooperate with all these people to see that the organization's goal is achieved. Right? The next thing is obtaining a regular, structured and systematic way the feedback from the customer. Obviously, customer is God. That's just is God for hospitality. Absolutely no doubt about it. So we have to see that are our customers happy with our food, our beverage, our other services, and other aspects what we are providing to the customer. Are they happy? If not, what are they expecting? What are the problems? This is very, very important. Then only these proper course corrections can be done by the management. After that first part, the next part of this unit is containing constraints of F&B management. This is based on a philosophy, it's a concept. Problem avoidance is better than problem solving. So constraints is basically meant for understanding in management what are the possible problems we could face during the course of operation. So basically, for discussing this part, the easiest way is putting all that factors which affect our business into two broad classifications. That is nothing external factors and internal factors. First, we see the external factors. Under external factors, the first one is government and political. Obviously, this cannot be controlled by no organization, it is outside your control, but a lot of government and political aspects are going to affect your business. For example, the government legislation, you know that the VAT is changed to GST. Suddenly it happens. So it will have an impact on your business. The fiscal structure is changing. So it will have an impact. Another example is government policy on training and employment. So suddenly the government will change their labor policies. So you can't employ people with the conditions may be given, like only this kind of people can be appointed, only this much salary, this minimum salary to be paid, and this kind of other perks to be paid. All these things may not be there in the initial stage, but suddenly the government can implement all these things. So that also has to be taken care of. Another external factor is economic. Under economic, the first thing is rising costs, sales instability, peaks and troughs in the business, changes in expenditure pattern. For example, this is nothing but rising costs itself is, for example, we are taking it. So we price the menu according to the present prices of ingredients. We do the costing according to the present prices of ingredients. Suddenly the cost of ingredients can increase. No other business has got that kind of problem. So say for example, onion itself, what's happening now? So we might have priced our menu for 30 rupees while onion is 30 rupees. Now it has gone to 200 rupees. How can we run the business? So this has to be expected. These kind of possibilities may be there. Like sales instability. This is a business which is terrific inconsistency is there in your business. Like sometimes you get your covers are packed, your restaurant is packed. Sometimes we can see that hardly we get some customers there. So we prepare for that peak hours, but we get a trough there. So all the things are going to be wasted. So we have to expect that consistency is very important. We have to expect this in advance. Another economic factor is expansion and retraction of the credit facilities. Another one is interest rates on borrowed capital. The third one of external factors is social factors. In social factors, one example is the changes in population distribution. Say for example, we start a restaurant for a particular segment or a particular kind of population. Say for example, I'm going to start a business in Coimbatore with purely targeting maybe the North Indians, or they're targeting the Keralites or something like that. Due to some kind of issue, like maybe the population may be changed, like they may be drifting, they may shift from that place to another place. I'm expecting that kind of people are going to stay there for long, but if they're not there, your business is going to be a flop. So that is again another thing, like another thing is like growth of economic minorities leading to demand for more varied foods. Obviously now people are going behind varieties. If you go for your conventional food and all, suddenly the demand for fashion food is increasing day by day. So the demand for your food may be lost very soon. So we have to anticipate this also. Another thing is change the socio-economic grouping of an area. This I've already told you like earlier itself we discussed this point. Then the fourth one is technical. In external, the other one is technical. Technical mechanization. This is very, very crucial for us because day by day technology is improving. New missionaries are coming out. Like so, we have established, like we are going to set up an infrastructure according to the presently available things. It may change. It may completely change. So when things are changing, your competitor is going to have all that highly mechanized kitchen and you are going for a conventional kitchen. So your cost is going to be very high. Your competitor may be able to price it low and you may not be able to do that. So mechanization is a very important thing. Another thing is information technology, the data processing. Obviously, this is very, very important. Rapidly changing. It's changing segment is information technology. You have to go for the latest POS systems and other softwares and all that to see that your business is functioning smoothly. This has to be expected. Like you have a software today, it may be outdated very soon. We should anticipate this in advance. Another one is like product development. For example, now an example given is organic vegetables. People are becoming so much of health conscious nowadays. Due to their awareness of health and all that, due to the influence of social media and all that, people are becoming highly health conscious. So organic vegetable, your competitor is coming out with an ad saying that we only use organic vegetable. So probably there may be a drift from your clientele to another your competitor. So we should anticipate that. Some of the internal factors we see is the food and beverage is the most important thing. Like that is the peculiar characteristics of food and beverage. It is not like any other product which we deal in other areas. See, the most important problem or constraint we face is perishability itself. So we all know that like food is perishable, highly perishable. So as far as the latest safety controls and standards and all that, you cannot reheat your food and give. So whatever you prepare for this meal has to be consumed for this meal. So whatever is left over is waste. Your food cost is going to increase. So in the previous day we had a good sale anticipating that today you prepare a lot of things and give and everything may be wasted. So make sure that this is not happening. This has to be anticipated in advance. Another one is like the staff. This point we already discussed. Staff is considered to be the most important aspect of an F&B operation or a hospitality operation. So there's some of the issues related to staff is general staff shortage. Obviously, there are scarcity of really skilled staff, really skilled people with the right kind of attitude, aptitude, education, experience and all that really scarce. So another thing is like absenteeism. Absenteeism cannot be adjusted like in other industries. Say for example, you have a captain in a restaurant, the guy is in charge of a station. If he doesn't come on that day, the station may be run with junior waiters and all that. So at that time, anything could happen. So if something happens like that cannot be recovered, that will badly affect your business. So another thing is like use of part-time staff, is like casual staff. What kind of loyalty they will be having towards the organization? They have only a business for a day. So running an operation with the casual staff is really risky. Another thing is poor supervision and training of new staff. Training is expensive. Every organization may not be able to afford that. So we have to anticipate that our boys, our people are being trained and they are up to date. So high staff turnover, people don't stick on to an organization. This is the problem every organization is facing. They just jump to other places. So this we should anticipate and never ever think that we start the operation with a set of people, they are going to stick on to you for a long time, they will jump. So that has to be anticipated in advance. So there are some controls issues like cash and credit control system, then maintenance of cost line with the costs with the budgets. Then another thing is like your maintenance of the food and beverage stocks. I told you like we deal with perishable things, stocking of food and beverage and all that it's really risky. So we cannot have too much of stock, we cannot have under stock. So the right kind of stock maintenance again a tough task. Then maintenance of the up-to-date costing and pricing of all menu items. I told you like we are in a competitive market, so you have to see that your costing, your pricing, your profit margin, everything is par with your expectations. Now the second part of this unit is cost and market orientation. This is basically a broad classification of all the F&B operations. The F&B operations can be broadly classified into cost-oriented operations and market-oriented operations. The cost-oriented operations are the one which are the welfare operations, which is purely focused on controlling the cost. Welfare operation, obviously we know that is not meant for making any profit. That has been run for the welfare for a particular group of people. Say for example an industrial canteen or an institution canteen or a hospital canteen are all typical examples for that. The another one is market-oriented operations, purely commercial business operations. Their ultimate aim, the complete focus is on the market. What is my market? Who is in my market? What do they want? And how much they can pay? And how we can woo on my market? How we can pass information to a market? This is what a market-oriented operations primary things. Like we'll see some of the fundamental characteristics of this one. Some basic characteristics of market-oriented, cost-oriented operations. The first one is the market-oriented operations, high percentage of fixed cost. We know that the costs are basically classified to, we can say that like we have fixed cost, variable cost and semi-variable cost. Fixed costs are nothing but the cost it is not changing, it is irrespective of your sales. It doesn't change proportional to your sales. Irrespective of the sale, it is always same, it is fixed. Such kind of costs are not, obviously, it is rent is one of the major example of it. Like rent you have to pay fixed. Like whether you have business or not business, you have to pay. But when it's a market-oriented operation, you have to be in a high street, in an expensive place. In an expensive place, you are going to pay a lot. You have to pay a lot of rent. So that's what high percentage of fixed cost. In case of market-oriented, cost-oriented operation, that will not be there. Maybe in a rural place also you can run an orphanage. So no problem, like the cost factor is most important. The other thing is, the second feature is an unstable market demand for the product in the market-oriented operation. This we already said, there is peaks and troughs in the business. You don't have any consistency in the business. You cannot expect the same amount of business to happen every day. But that's not the case of cost-oriented operation, because I told you like it's always catering to a particular group of people. It's a restricted market. The number doesn't change. If you're going to cater to an industry, we know how many employees are there in the industry. Only that much people are going to be catered. If it's a college hostel, we know how many inmates are there in the hostel. Only that much people will be catered. Only that much to be prepared. So there will not be any problem with the wastage of food and all that. Another feature is more likely to have a flexible pricing policy in a market-oriented operation. Like it's not a monopoly business. If you have the guts, you can price as you like. That freedom a market-oriented operation has. But obviously, that's not happening in a welfare operation. In a welfare operation, we cannot say that always the food is given free. Sometimes a small amount may be collected from the people. So that amount usually to meet the expenses. So they have a lot of restriction. They cannot collect anything more than that. And the last segment of this unit is on meal and drink experience. It's a beautiful definition we can give for meal experience. It may be defined as a series of events, both tangible and intangible, that a customer experience when eating out. When you see your dining experience, when somebody comes to a restaurant to have a meal, they are going to get two types of products. One is tangible products, Another one is intangible products. The tangible product is nothing but the one which you can touch, you can feel, you can take away. The intangible ones are ones which you can only feel. You can only carry your feelings with you. You cannot carry anything physical. That's called intangible. It's nothing but all kind of services which you provide is intangible, and also what type of food and beverage you offer is tangible. So now we see factors affecting customers' choice of a meal experience. Nothing but why do people go out for a meal? What are the reasons for them to go for a commercial meal? Usually it is due to some social reasons. Say for example, you have a birthday party, it's a social event, like you have to depend on some caterers or some kind of an F&B operation for business, right? Another example is your convenience and time. So today everybody are busy, people don't have time. So nowadays a lot of online, a lot of food and beverage delivery systems and all that has come. So people are going behind that for their convenience. They don't have time to cook. They cannot waste so much of time on that. Another reason may be to atmosphere and service. Every day monotonous, you have your kitchen at home, you cook at your home, you are going to take it to your dining room, you are going to have it in the same dining table, same ambience, same atmosphere, same things are happening. This is monotonous. Some people feel at least once in a week or once in a month, you need to have a change in your atmosphere and service and the kind of service which you get from restaurant service people that you want to enjoy. Some people prefer to go for a meal due to that reason. And obviously the price, they see like it is cheap, like they're getting some offer. In low price you are getting this. People say, why do we cook and waste our time? Go for it. And maybe the variety. Every item you may not be able to cook at home. An experienced chef, an expert chef, a trained chef is doing something and his expertise can be enjoyed when you go out. These are the reasons. Why do we? So we need to know the reason why people come to us eat. Why people come to us to have the meal. If you know that, obviously you can design your product according to that. For that reason only we discussed that this one. Now we see the components of your meal experience. The first thing is food and beverage itself. That means the customer is expecting a lot from the food what they're going to eat from your place. Regarding food, they expect quality. In quality we say they need taste. They give importance to taste. They give importance to the appeal. They give importance to the portion size. They give importance to the price of it, right? And they give importance of the presentation of it, all that. Then obviously they have concern about the variety in meal choice, variety in menu choice. Some restaurants have very limited number of items. Some restaurants have large number of items. A lot of items in your menu. People have a tendency to come back again and again and try the new things. But if you have very limited things, if I go there, I'll only get a burger, I'll only get a roll, I'll only get this stuff, only the biryani is there. So only for a biryani, so variety of menu choice, like even that can affect somebody's meal experience. Like you say, like last time I had something, this time I'm having a different one, I enjoyed it. So even the variety of meal experience can influence somebody's meal experience. Next one is level of service. Obviously, people are concerned about the service standards. When they pay for it, right? You know that if you cost of, you can have a dosha from a normal shop for 30, 40 or 50 rupees. So the same dosha when you go to a star hotel, like you're going to pay 150 or 250 or 300 or 500 rupees for that. So the cost of that is obviously the same, just one ladle of batter or something. But people are paying too much on it. They are paying too much, they are ready to pay for that service what they get there. So that's very, very important. That's an intangible product. It is to be, it has got a lot of importance in their meal experience. So if it's a bad service you're going to provide, definitely that's going to make them unhappy. Another thing is interior design. When you talk about somebody's meal experience, the interior what you're providing in your organization, it should match with the concept of your restaurant. The concept in the sense like you're just advertising like we are going to start a jungle themed restaurant. So when your advertising is a jungle themed restaurant, a customer is going to come to you with a lot of expectation. It's going to have an interior, it looks like a jungle. I can sit there with my family inside and have and all that. When they come and see that like it's a very normal restaurant, you have to have some rubbish things to show that like it has to do some justice to your concept. So interior design again can definitely affect or influence somebody's meal experience. The next thing is like atmosphere and mood. What is an atmosphere? Atmosphere includes everything which is surrounding the customer, right? That means the noise you are providing there. That means some sort of music you have, you got a live band, or you got a silence, you got something is the sound what you provide there, right? The smell what you provide there, the light what you provide there, everything, and even the other customers, right? Somebody wants to be in a calm and cozy place, they expect that and come there and it's a noisy place. That's going to make them very unhappy. So the atmosphere, including the other customers, is important. So, and the mood of it, right? So the total mood, we say, the overall mood which you provide in that dining area is also a very important thing which is going to affect somebody's meal experience. Then expectation and identity, this is the core point. Everybody come to a restaurant, come to a dining area, come to an F&B operation with a lot of pre-pregnated ideas. So that means they'll think, okay, I'm going to this restaurant, this class. The parking will be of this class. When I go there, I can park or I can just park there. The portico, somebody is going to come and take my key. There will be a valet service. He comes, nobody is there to receive them. No valet is there. So expected is something and happened is something else. This is going to create an embarrassment in the customer, right? It's not an irritant. We call it irritant which you are providing to a customer. Like this, from there the experience starts, right? So expectation from every area. So when it's a hi-fi restaurant, it's a fine dining restaurant, he's expecting someone to open the door for you. You are not doing it, then he isn't happy. And the moment you step into the restaurant, he's expecting something to acknowledge your arrival and come to you, wish to you and receive you. This is his expectation. And if it doesn't happen, embarrassment is going to be the result. So whatever the customer is going to expect. So a good business person has to see that he has to anticipate the expectations of my customer. Who is my customer and what all he is expecting from me, he should be knowing that. His expectations and obviously and whatever he is going to come and see there should be same. Thank you.